Let's start recording. Yeah, recording in progress. So let us start. First of all, I'll take something of the company balance sheet, and I have to talk to you about company balance sheet. And don't worry about your where is it? It is there or not? I have chosen something. Yeah, it should be there. And okay, I'll be doing something on company balance sheet first, and then I'll take some critical questions on partnership. And let me see the screen is coming or not. Okay, so company balance sheet. Company balance sheet I'll take. It's not coming. Yeah. Can you see my screen, please? Tell me yes, if you can see my screen or not.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first time I'm going to do this company balance sheet one lecture. I have to give a very brief lecture because this is very, very important. Company balance sheet. I'm taking company balance sheet, but I have not given up partnership final account. You want to know certain critical questions. And last week I gave you, I think 3-4 questions, and I think you have done it. But next class, let us take it. Let us give a drop of that because I have to go ahead with the company balance sheet also. So regarding company balance sheet, this I have shared in your group also, and I have to give you some tips about this. But yeah, it is moving. Okay, dear students, please listen to me. I have given one video of company balance sheet, and please you watch each and every of you. Please watch that. I have given this PDF also. This I have made the format. Please study that format. Don't neglect. And you can do one thing. Just copy that from your Telegram group. You copy that in your books. Copy in the sense when line by line you draw these types of lines, and then you make the format. I have given it. And that format I told you, I have never taught you company balance sheet. But today I'll concentrate on explaining company balance sheet format that much. And later on, I'll be giving you some other things in connection with company balance sheet. Now, let me tell you something background, because in this year or last 2 years, it's a very important thing, a very special in teaching company balance sheet. You are doing partnership balance sheet, there's a different thing altogether. You know how to write it, all these things. Let us not discuss that. But in company balance sheet also, there will be asset, there will be liability, there will be profit and loss account, but instead of profit and loss account, we shall call it statement of profit and loss. And then balance sheet is balance sheet. And remember, this balance sheet will not have like left side liability, right side asset, not like that. This balance sheet is known as, vertical balance sheet. Vertical balance sheet means, this is vertical. When you keep this way, this is horizontal. And we go this way, this is vertical. Means liabilities will be above and asset will be below. This is vertical balance sheet. And in company, see, now it is Companies Act 2013. But earlier it was Companies Act, when we learned, it was Companies Act 1956. And in Companies Act 1956, there's a huge, balance sheet format. Left side liability, right side asset, huge balance sheet format was there you used to learn. And later on, vertical balance sheet format came. And when in 2013, the new Companies Act was passed, then it is only vertical balance sheet. So this vertical balance sheet, how it is and all, I'll be teaching you these things. But before that, I want to tell you certain background stories here. See, in the Companies Act 2013, I'm not now talking about 1956, nothing of that. Forget it. Now, Companies Act 2013. In the Companies Act 2013, there is a schedule. Why I'm talking line by line this way, you shall remember in my lecture. And when there will be short note, fill up the gaps, true, false, even those things will be, you'll be finding, you'll be remembering. Although we are going to learn the format, but truth sorting. Maybe in which schedule of the Companies Act balance sheet is given. You'll be writing schedule what? Tell me anyone. Schedule 3. Tell me anyone, please. Schedule. One person tell me schedule. Which schedule?
3.
3. Very good. Very good. At least one person should be talking to me sometimes. So in schedule 3, you know, there is a balance sheet format is given, and that balance sheet format is this one. But I have to talk to you some other points also here. In after 2018, there are these things are not very much important for higher secondary, but very much important for BCom, corporate accounting. But little background, if I share with you 1 or 2 minutes, your foundation will be strong. And tonight I'll be sharing you one more video that is made for BCom, but I advise each of you just you spend 15 minutes and watch my video. Some of the things you may not understand, some of the things you'll understand, but this will be in your brain, and in BCom, in ICWA, in CA, in MCom, in higher studies, these things you need. Now that video I'll be sharing tonight with you, and this video also I'll be sharing. Now, you know, 11th of October 2018. Please remember, 11th of October 2018. From that, some more formats of balance sheets have been given. And at present today, there are 3 balance sheet formats. 3 balance sheet formats are given. Now, you are very much confused. In the book, if you go by the latest books, you will find there are 3 formats of balance sheet. And these 3 formats of balance sheet, which you shall follow. That balance sheet that I am sharing with you now, this you are going to follow for your examination. And another 2 types of balance sheets are there. These are in not very important in BCom also, but very much important in CA and ICWA higher courses. But little bit of knowledge you should have about this. But you should draw the balance sheet in this format, which I have already shared in PDF format in your Telegram group. And now I'm talking to you. Now, dear friends, please, I'm talking to your friends also, because you're my friends also. Take me as your friend. You see, you have heard of, yes or no, just one person will tell. You have heard of accounting standard?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, very good. So accounting standard you are also having in HS first year also it was there.
So,
It become lot of things about accounting standard. In higher studies you will find it. Now, in 1973, Institute of International Committee for ICAI, IASC, International Accounting Standard Committee. International Accounting Standard Committee was formed in UK, and International Accounting Standard Committee used to form IAS. IAS means International Accounting Standard. Like in India, we are having AS, that is in Indian Accounting Standard. But internationally, it is International Accounting Standard. Little book it is there, IAS. But in 2001, this International Accounting Standard Committee was abolished, and in its place, a new committee was formed in UK. I'm just talking very simple, and don't take stress. Just listen this story, and detail you have to learn in BCom. Just now listen without stress. You listen to this story. In 2001, a new association was formed in UK, and that is International IASB, International Accounting Standard Board. IASB was formed in UK. And in India, we are having ICAI, International, Indian Account, ICAI means India, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, we are having in India. So Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, they are making accounting standard for India. But at the same time, IASB, International Accounting Standard Board in UK, they are making accounting standard for all over the world. And India is also accepting those standards. More than 125 countries are accepting those standards. America is not accepting. There is some controversy. I'll be talking later on. This is a different issue. And these new international standards are known as, IFRS. This is there something a little bit in your course. IFRS means International Financial, IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standard. IFRS means International Financial Reporting Standard. And before that, internationally, what was formed was International Accounting Standard up to 2001. And after 2001, what is formed by IASB is International Financial Reporting Standard, means IFRS. And India is also accepting IFRS for our country. In India, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is there, then Ministry of Corporate Affairs is there, and lot of detailed stories are there. I'm not taking in this class these things, but India is accepting International Financial Reporting Standard, means IFRS. Now, IFRS has been accepted by India, but has been given a different name to that. We are accepting IFRS, but we have made it in our own style. Own style, we have changed in our own necessity. And this in India is known as Ind.AS. See, you can see Ind.AS, Ind.AS means Indian Accounting Standard. So now in India, there are two types of accounting standards. One is AS, like AS1, AS2, AS3, AS4, AS5, AS6, like this. And another Ind.AS, like that, Ind.AS1, Ind.AS2, Ind.AS3, Ind.AS4, all these things. And what is index? Ind.AS is nothing but IFRS in Indian format, Indian version. Okay. Now, in India, there are two types of standards. One is AS and other is what? Anybody can tell me? Other is? In India, other is? 1%, please.
Index.
Ind.AS. Not index, Ind.AS. See in the PPT, in the presentation. Ind.AS. Now, Ind.AS is a reflection of IFRS. IFRS means International Financial Reporting Standard. And in Indian version, it is known as Ind.AS. Now, International Financial Reporting Standard has been accepted by India, but not for all companies. Only for certain companies, big companies, it is accepted. But the small companies are not mandatory for them to follow Ind.AS. Small companies are following AS. AS means the original accounting standards of India. And Ind.AS means Indian accounting standard. Ind.AS, it is a reflection of IFRS. Now, Ind.AS is followed by, I'm just telling simply, by big companies. What is the big company? All these things you'll be learning in BCom. Now, I don't think it is so much of important. But the small companies, they are following AS. So you see, so I told you there are how many types of balance sheets are there in India now? Company balance sheet, how many types of formats are there? Anybody can tell me how many types of format?
2.
No, 3.
3.
Balance sheet formats are
3.
3. Accounting standards are 2. Okay, accounting standards. One group is following AS, means original accounting standards of India, and big companies are following Ind.AS. Ind.AS is having international flavor. So Ind.AS. Now, there are 3 types of company format, balance sheet format in India. And these 3 types of format, I can name this way. I cannot name, instead of chartered accountants, name this way. How many types of balance sheet formats are there, dear students? Tell me how many types? Tell me.
Sir, 3.
3. Number 1 is division 1. Number 2 is division 2. Number 3 is division 3. So there are 3 types of formats of balance sheet. Companies are divided into 3 groups. How many groups, dear students? Companies are divided in India. How many groups?
3.
Division 1, division 2, division 3. Now, division 2, division 3, you do not have any headache. Not even in BCom. Just you know, have the idea. But the company which is division 1, that balance sheet I am going to explain to you. And division 1 companies are not following Ind.AS. Then what they are following? Tell me. They are following AS.
Not Ind.AS.
AS. But they are not following Ind.AS. So see my heading, division 1, non-Ind.AS Schedule 3. of the Companies Act 2013. This is my heading. Division 1. Can you read it in my screen? Tell me yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Read Division 1 Non-Ind.AS Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013. So non-Ind.AS means, you can say simple language, small companies which do not apply Ind.AS. So that format I am going to explain now. And there are some other two types of companies, which are Division 2 and Division 3. I'm not taking in my course. I'm not taking now in my this lecture. Hope I'm clear, because if I do not explain where I am, then you'll be getting all confused. Whatever I teach, everything will be jumbled up. Now see, I have divided companies in how many groups? Tell me, how many groups companies I have divided?
3.
Division 1,
3.
Division 1, then
Division
Division
2,
2,
Division
Division
3.
yes, and Division 2, Division 3, those things are having a connection with Ind.AS. But Division 1 is not having connection with Ind.AS. So Division 1, see my heading, Division 1 non-Ind.AS. You understand that? Non-Ind.AS, इसमें Ind.AS नहीं है, तो क्या है? अकाउंट स्टैंडर्ड तो होना ही पड़ेगा. So कौन सा अकाउंट स्टैंडर्ड? That original AS means AS, इंडिया का अकाउंट स्टैंडर्ड को जो ओरिजिनल है उसको AS बोलता है. इंडियन अकाउंट स्टैंडर्ड लेकिन लिखने में AS बोलता है, IAS नहीं बोलता है. IAS तो इंटरनेशनल अकाउंट स्टैंडर्ड है. एंड इंटरनेशनल अकाउंट स्टैंडर्ड IAS भी अभी क्या बोलते हैं उसको? IFRS. और IFRS इंडिया में जो आ गया उसका नाम क्या हो गया? Ind.AS. Ind.AS कौन सा कंपनी में लगता है? Division 2 and Division
3.
You keep on talking to me, then I'll be very happy. Now we are going to learn Division 1 non-Ind.AS company. इसका बैलेंस शीट का फॉर्मेट देखो. Form of balance sheet, you have to write the name of the company. In your question, in exam, maybe you write the format. That much is there only. Maybe you have to write the format only. So you have to write the format this way, and maybe some figures will be given. You shall be putting the figures in appropriate places. So before that, you have to learn the format. That's the most important thing. Let me make the format easy for you. So एकदम टॉप में क्या है? Format of form of balance sheet. You write name of the company, balance sheet as at, you give the date. In every balance sheet, partnership sole trader, you give date, balance sheet as at, you give the date. Now let us see the format very carefully. In format में कितना कॉलम है? देखो लेफ्ट में, एकदम लेफ्ट, there is one small column, then particulars, then note, then figures as at the end of the current reporting period in rupees, date, month, year इसमें दे दो. फिर next में figures at the end of the previous reporting year in rupees, date, day, month, year. You have to give this way the format you have to learn. If you listen to me, it will be very easy. After that, you can remember, but please you write also. Looking at this 6 PPT, you write, and I have also given the PDF to you. Please see that and write yourself with some book. You can copy from any book also, what is published book. You can take that also. Same thing you'll be finding. Now देखो, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns are there, and first column is for serial numbering, etc. Then particulars, note number. What is note number? I'll be telling you. And for amount, there are how many columns? Amount for how many columns? Tell me.
2.
Very good. So first column will be current year figures. Second column will be previous year figures, because company wants that you show last year figure also. And first it will be, equity and liability. This is the heading. This is the heading, and there are two broad headings. Let me show you that below. There are two broad headings, dear students. There are two broad headings. The second heading is asset. Second heading is C, number 2, asset. So under asset, there is non-current asset and current asset. And under the non-current asset, these are the items. Under the current asset, these are the items. I'll be making some humorous point with these things so that you can remember. कुछ मस्ती भी कर लेंगे इसमें so that you can remember. But पहले तुम देखो कि under equity and liabilities, what are the things? So मेरा एक formula है S and C. You can write somewhere S NC, then NC. ये shortcut formula, very simple formula. S and C क्या है? देखो, under equity and liabilities, this is the main heading. Under that, it will be S and C. S का अंडर में क्या होता है? Shareholders fund. S. Then shareholder fund का नीचे तुम देखो non-current liabilities, and then current liabilities. Broad heading. Under this, many things may be there. If you try to commit to memory one by one, this way you cannot. But you understand broadly first, and उसका बाद में देखो कि अंदर में क्या है. तो first is equity and liabilities heading, and second I have shown you assets. So under equity and liability, there's S and C. Why I say this is my joking also. S means shareholders funds. Under this shareholder का बारे में जितना भी है आ जाएगा. And after that non-current liability, then current liability. These three broad headings are there. So I am right to say S and C. Then go to नीचे जाओ, नीचे जाके देखो asset है. Asset का नीचे में देखो non-current asset and current asset. So can I say NC? देखो asset का नीचे NC. So I have said S and C and C. My पहले formula मेरा हो गया याद करने के लिए. For remember, মনত রাখার কারণে মই formula বনাইছো. নহলে ফরম্যাট মনত না থাকে. বহু স্টুডেন্টে কয় এটো ফরম্যাট সব কিতাবতেই থাকে, কিন্তু মনত রাখাটো ডাঙৰ কথা. কি টেকনিকত মনত ৰাখিবা? মই অলপমান টেকনিক দি আছো, মোৰ টেকনিক. তাৰপিছত তোমাৰ নিজৰ টেকনিক. So S and C and C. Can you anybody repeat S and C and C? One person please.
S and C.
Okay. Now NC देखो total, I mean sorry, asset is the main thing. Asset का नीचे NC. Asset का नीचे NC. And we go to above again. Under it's not only liabilities. No, in balance sheet, no partnership, you write liabilities asset. Please write here equity and liability. Don't write only liability. You write equity and liability. If you listen to this types of class with me, and if you see my video several times, you can understand and remember all these things. You shall never forget. I'll not allow you to forget. I'm sure about it. So under equity and liability, you will be finding S and C. S for what? Who will say S for what?
Shareholders fund.
N for what?
Non-current liabilities.
C for what?
Current liabilities.
Okay, S and C हो गया. So चलो हम लोग नीचे अभी देखते हैं क्या है. S and C का नीचे क्या है? Asset का नीचे क्या है? देखो नीचे चलो नीचे चलो नीचे चलो नीचे चलो. Asset आ गया. Asset का नीचे दो होता है, क्या क्या है? N
And C.
Non-current asset.
Yeah. And C means what?
Current asset.
Very good. So you love to remember S and C and C. Many people may not understand if they do not have this seen this, but you can understand what I mean S and C and C. Now S and C for us quickly. Under S, shareholders fund. Under that you will be getting share capital. And you see the third column, I have to tell you here something. There is a note, no? Note number. See, share capital, you have to go to working and calculate the share capital working, and final amount will be coming here and here. And that working, you give working note 1, working note 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you give the number of workings. So that working note number will be coming here. So share capital you calculate in the working, and suppose working note number 1, put right here 1 and write here figure. If the previous year figure is given also, you write here. If previous year figure is not given, you do only one column and just show it. हाथी का कितना दांत रहता है? एक दिखाने के लिए और एक खाने के लिए. So you show this previous year and do this current year. Then after the reserve surplus, next day I'll be explaining what comes under this. The reserve surplus you calculate, and then it will be coming here. Then money, all these things, whatever connected to the shareholders fund will be coming here. I'll be taking one more class to explain these small items clearly. Once again, you will be loving that second class, but now preliminary class you see this way. Then under N means non-current liability under क्या था? Long-term borrowing, deferred tax, all liabilities will coming, and current liability तोलट किया है current liability tolot current liability jibilak thake heibilak ahibo. You may not understand the meaning of this small, but today's class may not be covering, but I'll be taking one more class, and this way if you discuss, we shall remember. Otherwise, format to high. Many people learn the format without understanding. That should not be. You understand the concept. So S and C, that is complete under equity and liability. Then come to asset. Under asset, N and C. Under N, N means non-current asset. And all of you must have learned in HS first year, there is a concept fixed asset. Dear students, please remember, now under non-current asset, that red portion earlier, it was fixed asset. That under non-current asset, whatever we written under this earlier, it was fixed asset. Now you cannot write it fixed asset. What you have to write, please tell me anybody what I have written here, red one.
Property, plant and equipment.
Please remember, in company, and this is the effect of IFRS actually. But you may ask me, sir, division 1 में तो IFRS है ही नहीं, ये तो Indian system में होता है account standard तो क्यों? लेकिन this is accepted in Indian any company balance sheet. You have to accept it, but because in other balance sheet there is no doubt it is coming directly from IFRS concept. But in this all companies balance sheet, even in where IFRS is not used, Ind.AS is not used, there also you cannot write fixed asset. But if you go the books of 1 or 2 years back of any writers, you will find it is fixed asset written. Dear students, please don't follow fixed asset. Don't write fixed asset from those books. Even in new book, if it is written fixed asset here, please don't write here. You write the other things. It will be okay. But this you write, what you shall write, once again tell me.
Property, plant and equipment.
Very good. Next day I'll be making it interesting, the background, what is called that. But now for joking sake, I can tell you because this is PPE. And PPE is very important during COVID, is not it? PPE in COVID, what is that? Personal protection equipment, isn't it? In PPE, PP kit, have you heard of it? COVID?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just to remember that. Anyway, property, plant and equipment का नीचे में क्या आएगा? Tangible asset. Whatever tangible asset you understand in HS first year, intangible asset. My class will be completed within 1 or 2 minutes, will be cut up. And after that, if I continue for some more minutes, you can join. Otherwise, let me complete here. Then intangible asset, like goodwill, trademark, these things will be coming here. And this will be in working only. Anyway, it will be coming here. Then non-current investment, deferred tax, all these things will be coming here. Just learn these items. And this is non-current asset. Actually, it means fixed asset. But we cannot write fixed asset because you have to write property, plant and equipment. And after that, you shall write current asset. Everybody knows what is current asset. You have learned in HS first year also. So current investment, current inventory, trade receivable, like debtors, like bill receivable, then cash, bank balances, short-term loan, other current asset, if any, all these things will be there. And then asset side, all this you total here, and this total and upper mein liability ka total should be equal. So this is the format of balance sheet. This is known as vertical system of balance sheet, and this is horizontal. In partnership, what you are doing is horizontal. Right side asset, left side liability. That is horizontal, and this is vertical, dear students. Please remember. So I have taken some broad areas of the format. See, you can learn the format by looking at the book also, but you may not be able to remember. And most of the headings I have taken very with stress, but subheadings I have not taken yet. I can again take one more class if you want, the subheadings. But this is the way. First duty you will be, you write this format in your book. Try to copy. The moment you copy, you shall remember my class. I said this under equity and liabilities is the first heading, and second heading is the asset, and whole balance sheet you can put in very small things, five letters only. Anybody can tell me what are those 5 letters to remember?
S
Sir,
and
S
C.
and C and C.
You liked it?
SNC.
Formula SNC and C. You liked it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So under equity and liability, S and C means shareholders fund, non-current liability, current liability. Details छोड़ दो, मैं heading बोल रहा हूँ S and C. And this is my formula S and C and C. And then under asset and C, non-current asset and current asset. So these things will be there. All of you understand what is current asset? Current asset means those assets which have tendency to be converted into cash within one financial year. All of you understand. Like your stock is current asset, debtors current asset, your bill receivable current asset. So these are current asset. And what is current liability? That also you know. The liabilities which will be payable within one financial year. Like sundry debtors, like bills payable, these outstanding expenses, all these are current liabilities will be coming here. So the more you study these things, some point will be coming, sir, each point kahan jayega? Like in balance sheet of partnership, when I asked you, where will be prepaid expenses written in balance sheet? You said, sir, balance sheet asset side. And I said, correct. But here, you know, you simply don't have to say balance sheet asset side. You have to say, see, under balance sheet asset side, there are two things. One is non-current asset, one is current asset. So you have to specify where. So prepaid expenses will be under current asset, not in fixed asset. I mean, non-current. Like that, there may be outstanding liabilities. Earlier, I taught you outstanding liabilities come in balance sheet liability. And I was satisfied when you said that you balance sheet liability. But here, balance sheet liability is not sufficient. If you write in balance sheet liability side, suppose outstanding salary, and you have written under shareholders fund. You have written here, suppose, outstanding liabilities. Balance sheet will tally, but marks will be deducted. So you have to know the address. आपका घर कहाँ है? बोले हमारा घर आसाम में है. नहीं, you be specific. Which place? If you say Guwahati, exactly tell which place. So for that reason, you know, is outstanding liabilities. It will be under current liabilities, not under non-current liabilities, nor under shareholders fund. If you misplace, balance sheet will tally, marks will be deducted. Hope you understand what I told you just now. So be very careful which point, not only two sides balance sheet asset liability, but